Here with current NWCA President Jim Beichner in Delray Beach, Florida. Great site for the annual 2010 NWCA convention. And first of all, as far as the convention goes, what are your thoughts on the turnout and Coaches Academy and everything that's been going on here on the official day one?
Well, the turnout has been great. The last 2 years actually have been very, very good. We have a group of solid presenters. We have a group of great coaches. And, I said to a group earlier in the convention that when you preach to your athletes, beginning of the season, you tell them something like this: surround yourself with great people, surround yourself with good roommates, and you'll have a better chance of success. And that's kind of what we're doing here at the convention. We're surrounding ourselves with some of the best people in wrestling, and I think ultimately that'll permeate down through the ranks, and as a whole, I think our wrestling community will improve.
Yesterday, the NWCA Coaching Leadership Academy wrapped up, and it seems to be one of the most important meetings and type of seminars that have surfaced in the last couple of years in wrestling. What are your thoughts on the Leadership Academy and how it can impact college wrestling as a whole?
I think the NWCA has done many great things over the years, but this Leadership Academy is probably on the very top of the list. I believe that our wrestling coaches are learning CEO skills and how to run their programs in probably many ways different than what they initially thought wrestling coaching would be. Because it's not really just about takedowns and back points and necessarily just wins and losses. Obviously, we all want to win all the time, but in order to win, you have to be doing a lot of things right. And in order to do those things right, you have to have CEO skills. You have to be able to deal with administrators, fans, alumni, in just so many different areas. And that's the kind of skills that we're trying to teach the younger coaches and some of the older coaches. I mean, quite frankly, some coaches that have been interested in this program are coaches that have been in this sport for 25 plus years. And every time they walk out of here, I hear the same thing. It's a great program, and they learned a lot. So it's really, I think, one of the best things we've ever done.
Shifting gears a little bit, talk about your program up in Buffalo.
Yep.
Kind of been a tough year, not just wrestling-wise, but emotionally. We lost heavyweight here, former heavyweight Jeff Parker. Dan Bishop was hurt on the MAC championships. And where is Buffalo as a program kind of moving forward from those events, and what's it been like as far as a coach? It's probably very taxing, but what do you do as a coach to have to move beyond that?
Well, it's pretty hard, but it really focuses you on what's important in life. And, when you really look at it, what's important are the athletes. The student athletes are absolutely the most important thing, and their health and their safety is critical, and we have to keep that in mind as coaches. But I think the adversity that we faced this year has kind of brought us together closer as a team and as a coaching staff too. And you don't want to have to go through that kind of adversity. You don't want to lose one of your favorite student athletes in the last 15 years of your coaching. But when that happens, like I said, it really gets you focused, and it puts you in tune with the needs of the other athletes and the team. And I think together, we've become a better team. The truth of the matter is, I think we've become a closer, tighter, and better team as a result of these things. So it was really tough. Jeff Parker was very tough. And Danny Bishop, though, has been kind of the opposite. It was probably one of the most difficult things for the first week that I've ever experienced, knowing that your student athlete might be paralyzed forever. But his miraculous recovery has now also made us feel tremendous about what's happened there, and his attitude and his parents' attitude about this recovery process and what he's gone through have been so positive and so upbeat that it's really hard to express my feelings as a coach and how I feel about them, because I don't know if I could have handled it that well if it was my son. And Danny has been tremendous, and he has learned from this. He feels like he's grown as a person from it, and in some ways he said maybe it's something that needed to happen to me to refocus him in life. And again, it's just you don't want to have to go through it, but when you do, you make the best of it, and you try to improve.
And talk about the state of the program. You got a lot of qualifiers through last year, the NCAA championships, the qualifying system, and your scheduling has been beneficial for that respect. But what can we expect to see from Buffalo on the mat this year? I've already seen the little nugget that you guys are heading down my stomping grounds back to the Virginia Duels.
Yep.
What type of events will we expect to see Buffalo Bulls on the mat this year?
Well, the last 2 years we've qualified 4 guys to the NCAA championships, 4 and 4. And this year we're returning 4 national qualifiers, and 1 is going to be a senior and 3 are going to be juniors. So that's the first time in the history of our program that we've done that. And I think that's a sign of improvement, and we need to. Everybody needs to improve, and I obviously understand that we do as well. What you can expect from us is really hard-nosed wrestling. I mean, we've got the kind of guys that want to compete. We've got the kind of guys that want to be All-Americans. And if you don't have those guys, you can't get All-Americans, the bottom line. So we are going to continue to build our schedule and try to make it as strong as we possibly can. We're not afraid to compete against anybody. That's why we went to the national duels for the last couple of years. For the most part, I hope you can expect a lot of All-Americans from us in the future. We expect that to happen.